What's going on, everybody? I am glad to be back and excited to walk through an extremely powerful video showing the exact post-purchase upsell funnels that I use that have generated over $500,000 of additional revenue. These are the exact post-purchase upsell funnels that I implement for pretty much every single new partner that comes on board for the Elite Growth Partnership in DM Corporations. This has been tried and tested over the last 5 years, bringing in over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional revenue and profit for all of my partners. Now, today we're going to walk through the exact funnels that I use, how I set them up, how I split test them, the platforms I use, basically every single aspect to setting your own post-purchase upsell funnel up. Now, if you've never heard of me before, my name is Dominic Mayu, and I run a company called DM Corporations where we help Shopify-based e-commerce brands scale to millions of dollars of profitable revenue through something that we call revenue optimization. And the post-purchase upsell strategy is a vital part of that as it significantly impacts AOV. So I'm going to walk through the exact funnels we use that have generated this much revenue. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I do want to start by saying thank you for your patience as I've not released a video in 3 months, but I plan to start releasing videos twice a week once again from here on out. So let's start with what is a post-purchase upsell funnel for those of you that aren't familiar with this. Basically, a post-purchase upsell funnel is just an upsell you show to your customers after they've gone through the entire buyer journey, entered their credit card, and pressed pay. Okay, so for a Shopify example, I go through, I enter my email, my phone number, I enter my address, I enter my payment information, and I press pay, and then the upsell shows. Now, the power that these upsells harness is they immediately add to the original order without interfering with the buyer journey, right? Leading to increased AOV, revenue, and profits. So because you're not showing this upsell to them before they actually purchase, it's going to have zero impact on your conversion rate. It's not going to affect the customer journey at all. It's going to just be pure additional revenue, pure additional profit. Okay, so that is kind of what a post-purchase upsell is. You can see a bit of an example here. So after they purchase, you see the thank you page is behind them. They can add these extra products straight to their order. The cool part is it actually adds to the original order. It doesn't come through as two Shopify orders, so it keeps things super streamlined, super simple. And yeah, these are really just an absolute no-brainer to set up. So I'm going to walk through a couple of super quick studies on a few partners of mine, just year-to-date revenue. So these are, I'm going to make my face a little smaller maybe. There we go. So these are screenshots from year to date for a few partners through the application called One Click Upsell, so OCU. That is what I'd recommend to set all these up. That's what I use for all of my partners. I don't have any sort of affiliation with them, so I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. I just genuinely want to help you guys make money, and this is the app that I use. Now, on that, it is not the most robust and complex app out there. There are some really good apps that allow you to do a few more things, apps like Rebuy, Aftersell, things like that. But I've noticed OCU gives me exactly what I need it to. It's super easy. It's super simple. You can get these upsells set up in like an hour and have them completely flowing and functioning properly. So here's one screenshot. So it's brought in about $44,000 of additional revenue. So this is just extra revenue that we wouldn't have gathered had we not had this set up. So this is year to date, so the last 9 months. That's incredible. Here's same thing, 22,000 and 12,000. So you can see the power that these have just in some revenue basis. So now I want to go through a couple of screenshots on the actual funnels to show you guys the stats and how powerful these things really are. So again, this is year to date. You'll see these are all different funnels. Now I do have these kind of cropped to keep my partners private, but you'll see how well these convert. So and you'll see the revenue per visit added. So basically what this means is every time somebody sees these upsells, every time somebody orders, it is adding this much value per visit, not per order, per visit. That is incredible. Okay, so you'll see we obviously have like our core funnel set up here. 11% of people convert from this funnel. 11%. That means that after they press buy and this pop-up shows, 11% of people are taking this upsell. That is phenomenal. Adding almost $2.50 per visit. You'll see some of these smaller funnels. Now they obviously have a lot less views, so they're a lot more niche. but you can see $14 per visit, $8 per visit, $2.39 per visit. This is extremely powerful. Okay. Now, if we go to another one, similar cases, right? But adding, a little over $1 per visit. But you can tell, if you're doing 100 orders a day, how easy and how quick this starts to stack up for you when you look at it week over week, month over month, and after a couple of years, and start just generating this crazy revenue that's just going to be extremely profitable for you. So now that we have gone through that, here's how I build my upsell funnels. And on the next slide is going to be the exact funnel process. But I do want to dive into this a little bit. So like I said, I use one-click upsell. There are some other apps that you can use that are a little bit more robust. Things like Afterbuy, that's a good one. Or Rebuy, my bad. Rebuy is a good one. But I love OCU. It's super easy. You don't need to be very technically experienced to set these up. That's what I'd recommend. Now, on that, how do you actually get started, right? Do you build a different funnel out for every single product? Do you just build one main funnel out? How do I do it? So basically what I do is, if you are a brand with a lot of products, if you're not, this doesn't apply to you, but if you are a brand with a lot of products, focus on the 80-20 rule to build these funnels out, okay? You don't want to have to build 60 different upsell funnels out, right, for every single product. It doesn't need to be extremely unique like that. Focus on the top 2 to 3 sellers. Build specific funnels for these top 2 to 3 sellers, which I will get into what these funnels look like. This is more of a broad overview. And then build one funnel that goes to the rest of them, right? So that's with these screenshots, is I have these very niche funnels that convert extremely well. And then I have my base funnel, right? Same here, right? I have, these are obviously the 2 top sellers. And then I have my niche funnels, and then everything else is grouped together. So that's how I build these out. You don't need to spend, 4 weeks creating super custom funnels for every product. Take your top 2 or 3 sellers, make a custom funnel for them, and then group everything else together. Now, obviously, if you don't have many products, you won't have this problem. Just to clarify, what I'm talking about is the trigger product, right? So, for example, if I bought X, then upsell Y. That's how these funnels are set up. So you can do, if bot X is any product, you can just have one core funnel. Now, typically I like to create two or three for the top and then group together the rest. Now, on that, what you'll want to decide is the same product upsell, right? So if I bought face wash, the upsell would be more face wash, right? Or same thing, if I bought face wash and I had, maybe you have a moisturizer that goes with that face wash, that would be a great cross sell. Now, those are the only 2 things that you can upsell here, right? Is either the same product or an extremely relevant cross sell. Now, I say extremely relevant because if it's not extremely relevant, more of the same product is always going to outperform an okay cross sell. Okay, so remember that. So when you're putting this together, and if you think you have a product that kind of goes well with, the main product that they bought, but not really, just do same product. But if you do have a great cross sell, do the cross sell. For example, I have a brand called G-Tech. They sell heated apparel that is fueled by a battery. Okay, now obviously that battery absolutely kills it on the post-purchase upsell because it is extremely relevant, but don't force that. Now, third is just to create compelling offers. It's important to encourage these users to take these upsells through good offers, good positioning. Sometimes I even go as high as 40-50% off, depending on margins. Obviously, if you have products with extremely high margins, you can discount these significantly because you already paid for that purchase, right? You already paid for this customer. You might as well get as much AOV out as you possibly can. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the general framework of how this works. Okay, so just to paint a picture in your head, a general post-purchase upsell is going to look like this. This is how I build all of mine. Now, you can build them a lot further, right? You can have 3 different downsells. You can have 4 different upsells. This is where I cap it because you don't want to show too many upsells to people before they just start to get a little bit peeved, a little bit annoyed. So I've noticed this is kind of the perfect blend of enough upsells, enough downsells to capture enough purchases, but not actually annoy your customers, okay? So this is what I do. Upsell 1. This is the most relevant upsell possible. This is going to be your money maker right here. Okay. So what this is either the same product they bought. So again, in the face wash example, I bought face wash. I'm going to upsell them more face wash. Or the extremely relevant cross sell. I bought face wash. I'm going to upsell them moisturizer. Now, every brand is different, whether you want to do a high ticket item here or a low ticket item. Okay, I've had success with both, believe it or not. We have a partner account. It's actually from one of the screenshots that has an AOV of about $90. Now, in one of their funnels, the best performing offer for the first upsell is actually a product that costs $280. Now we're giving 20% off. So that brings it down to about $220, but that sees a 3% conversion rate at $220, making the AOV of that funnel around $310 because of the original $90 AOV. So that's extremely valuable. I'll get into split testing in the next slide a little bit, but yeah, test high ticket versus low. If you have only high ticket items, obviously at high. If you only have low, obviously at low. It doesn't need to be super complicated. Now, upsell 2. This is going to only show to people that accept upsell 1. Okay, so face wash example. I buy the face wash. They upsell me moisturizer. Now it's going to show me upsell 2. Okay, now this is really where you want to go after the high ticket products if you have them. Okay, because obviously these customers are willing to spend money. They ordered from you. They took the first upsell. They're ready to spend money. Let's hit them with a big deal here. Now, if you don't have a high ticket element, sometimes what I like to do is bundle together more of the same product, right? So in the face wash moisturizer example, what we could do is upsell them a 3-pack of face wash or a 3-pack of moisturizer or a 3-pack of both, right? We can test these different things because the only people that are going to see this are those that accepted this one. So we want to do a high ticket one if possible. If we don't have high ticket and bundling doesn't really make sense for our products, just hit them with another cross sell, hit them with another upsell. That's an even better offer than it was before. Now, downsell 1. Now this is going to be another huge moneymaker because this is going to be shown to people who say no to upsell 1, okay, which is going to be most people. I would say anywhere between a 5 to 10% conversion rate is very good. So that means that, 90, 95% of people are going to be seeing this downsell. Now, for the downsell, what we want to do is make it an even better deal than upsell 1. So that's going to be the main piece. Now, sometimes the downsell is, or a good downsell offer is the same upsell offer as the upsell 1, but with a bigger discount, right? So for example, if upsell 1 was that moisturizer for 25% off, sometimes a really good downsell offer is that same moisturizer, but now for 40% off, okay? Now, not always. Sometimes what I like to do is switch to a cheaper item. So for example, if the upsell 1 was moisturizer, maybe downsell 1 is, what's relative? Maybe like a brush that you can use with the face wash that's super cheap, right? Maybe it's like $6. We're offering 20% off for this downsell. So sometimes that helps. Now, really the main element is you just want this to be, 1, a better deal than upsell 1, and 2, cheaper than upsell 1, because these people said no here. So this is kind of a last minute capture on what we can do. You still want it to be extremely relevant. Even a larger discount again on the same product. So say upsell 1 is the face wash again for 30% off. Downsell 1 can be the face wash again for 50% off. So I've even seen these downsells outperform the upsells in a kind of total revenue standpoint before. I would say that's rare, but if you can figure out a good downsell that people actually take after saying no to that upsell, you can make a ton of extra revenue on that. So that's kind of the general framework here. Now, going back to this slide, again, for the funnels, when you're building these out, if you have a one product website, then obviously this is super easy. You just build one funnel that looks exactly like this. Now, if you have a lot of products or 5 products, something like that, you can build unique funnels for every single product. So maybe you have the face wash product, maybe you have moisturizer on your website as well. Maybe for the moisturizer product, if they buy the moisturizer, then you start upselling the face wash. Or if they buy the brush, then you upsell the face wash and the moisturizer. So you can kind of see where I'm going here. Now, like I said, if you have 1,000 products, you do not need a custom funnel for every single product. What I would do is maybe take your 2 or 3 top sellers, create funnels for those, and then have a base funnel for everything else where the upsells can apply to all the other products. Now, the cool thing with OCU is the same product as bought functionality can be done on a wide basis. So say you have 100 trigger products, right? So if buyer buys X, then you upsell Y, and you have 100 of those X products. The same product as bought rule will apply customly to each of those funnels. So if I go through and I buy the face wash, the same product is bought, funnel will upsell me more face wash. And in that same funnel, if I buy the moisturizer, it will upsell me the moisturizer. So that's kind of the nice piece there. If you don't have like one cross sell that can go across every single product, which most brands don't, then definitely just select the same product as bought at a bigger discount. If you do have a cross sell that's relevant for everything, definitely go for it. Okay. So now that you have that set up, you want to dial it in. So it's never going to be perfect on the first go around. It never is when I integrate it. It's just never going to work like that. Now, the cool thing with OCU, here's a quick, excuse me for this one, guys. Here's a quick example of what this funnel will actually look like in OCU. Now, you'll see I do have split test running, which is where I'm about to go. That's where I was going. But you'll see this first upsell, right? If the customer accepts that upsell, then it shows upsell 2. And then if it has downsell, or if they decline the first upsell, then it shows downsells. Now you'll see I have split tests running in both of these sectors. This one only has 10 views because I just changed this offer. It hasn't had a conversion yet. But yeah, you'll see these downsells adding, 39 cents per visit, 33 cents per visit. So that's pretty significant. Now, if we go to this one, again, this downsell adding $1.26 per visit, that's massive, right? So this first upsell adding 248, this one's adding 182. Again, I'm split testing. If they accept this, it goes into upsell 2. If they decline this, it goes into downsell 1. Okay. Now, let's get into the split testing. So here is how I split test to dial these upsell funnels in. Now, realistically, depending on your traffic, you can get these completely dialed in about 3 to 6 months, sometimes a little bit longer if you don't have very much traffic at all. But this is super easy to do. So this is how I always structure my split test. So I start by testing the actual upsell product. Okay. So this is basically 3 to 5 total split tests. Sometimes it's less if you have less products. But typically, if you have a lot of products, I cap this at 3 to 5. Testing different upsells, right? So if they bought the face wash, in this example, I would be split testing the upselling more of the same product. So upselling more of the face wash versus upselling the moisturizer and seeing which ones of those makes more money. Okay. And then whichever one wins there, maybe I split test that brush that I was talking about as well, the face wash brush, something like that. And run, anywhere from 3 to 5 split tests, testing the actual product in each funnel. Again, if you don't have like enough products, don't force this. Say you only have one super relevant cross sell, test that cross sell versus same product is bought, and then call this one good. Okay. This is just going to be what makes the biggest difference is the actual products. That's why we always start there. Now, once we've dialed in the product and we know the products are correct, we're going to move to the offers. Okay. And do the same thing. This is usually 3 to 5 tests, dialing the offers. Now, the offers are basically just the discount that you're giving your customers. So that could be 20% versus 40%, 20% versus $10 off, $5 off versus $10 off. Running, 3 to 5 of these tests to figure out which is the most profitable for you. Now, remember, maybe you test 20% versus 40%, and 40% has a higher take rate, more people buy it, but it may actually not be profitable because you're losing that 20% in margin. So when you're running these tests, always calculate what you're actually profiting before you make any decisions. Now, after you run a few of those tests, that's when you can move to the actual design of the upsell itself, right? So this is where you can test different headlines, descriptions, layouts, things like that. Now, I will say, make bigger changes here, like not just a word or two, because the only people that are actually seeing these upsells are people that purchase from you. Now, unless you're a massive store, you're probably not getting just thousands and thousands of visitors to these upsells every day to actually get in, reliable and significant traffic. So test bigger changes, let them run long enough to actually be significant. Typically, you can call things after maybe 300-ish views per variation. It can be a lot sooner if you don't have that traffic. But typically, that's where I like to let mine sit is maybe 200 to 300 views per variation before I call it. Sometimes I call it way sooner if one is just absolutely dominating the other. But just continue this process, every month, every 2 months, every 2 weeks, however long it takes for your Shopify store to hit, say, at least 100 views per variation. And then start a new test and just keep this process going. Even incremental wins of 5% over the course of a year stack up significantly. So definitely keep running those. as you move forward here. Now, um, that's basically this whole video. I do want to talk about a new super exciting project that my team and I are currently working on, and that is a custom CRO AI bot course. So basically what this course is going to teach you how to create a custom AI bot that is completely tailored and completely custom to your e-commerce brand. I'm going to teach you how to train it on your exact data, your customer language, and how to leverage this bot to scale your conversion rates, to write emails, to create ads, to write all your copy, to create imagery, to literally replace your existing agencies. That's the goal of this bot. Now, if that sounds interesting, head to my pre-launch. There's going to be a link below. It should be at the top of the description. The pre-launch is completely free. And what that's going to allow you to do is unlock an exclusive 50% off discount and early access to this course. I do think I'm only going to price this course around $97 because I want more people to be able to access this. I think it's going to be extremely powerful and help people make a lot of money and save a lot of time. So I want to make it extremely accessible. But if you do sign up for this pre-launch, you will get 50% off that 97, which will likely run into about $48, and 48-hour early access to everyone else who signs up. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, definitely head to that link, put your email in there, and then I will email you an early access link once we actually launch, which should be sometime around October 18th. So I hope this video helped, and keep crushing ecom, guys.